success in securing it today.
James Wilde.
Thank you, Mr. Deputy Speaker. I welcome this Power of Attorneys Bill, and I congratulate my honourable friend for South Basildon and East Thurrock on getting to this stage and successfully securing cross-party support for this measure and, importantly, government support for it, and I look forward to supporting it later today. And while it may not have attracted the same level of attention and celebrity endorsement as the hunting trophies import prohibition bill, which I was pleased to support earlier, it is nonetheless a very important bill because it seeks to make provisions about lasting powers of attorney and proof of instruments creating powers of attorney. And a lasting power of attorney, an LPA, is a vitally important legal tool that helps people plan for their future. It lets the donor choose another person, the attorney, to support them and make decisions on their behalf if they lose mental capacity to be able to make them for themselves. For example, that might be due to an illness such as dementia, or it could be due to a terrible accident. And as the Law Society has said, LPAs are arguably one of the most important legal documents that a person will make because they delegate such wide-ranging powers over their life. And whether you're a friend, a relative, a partner, a solicitor, that is an incredible and immense responsibility to take on. And LPAs were introduced in 2007 by the Mental Capacity Act to balance the need to improve safeguards for the donor with the need to make it easier to secure an LPA. And that Act also created the Office of Public Guardian, the OPG, which is responsible, as we've heard, for registering LPAs and taking action where there are concerns about an attorney. And LPAs were introduced more than 15 years ago. And with the progress of technology and our move away from paper-based record keeping, the case for change is clear. And with LPAs, MCAs and OPGs, we're not short of TLAs today. And I'm very pleased that the bill will need much-needed modernisation for the process of making and registering lasting powers of attorney and making it easier for individuals to obtain certified copies of powers of attorney. This will create a simpler, faster system for customers and make the system more resilient to disruption. And the modernisation will be made possible by enabling changes to the process to make and register an LPA, introducing the requirement to verify identity as part of applying to register for an LPA, and streamlining how people can object to that registration. It also enables different processes and evidence to be accepted depending on whether an LPA is made digitally or on paper or a mix of the two. And I'm very pleased that my honourable friend for South Basildon and East Thurrock so clearly set out that that paper-based option will be retained. I know this is something that Age UK particularly have raised, and it will benefit my North West Norfolk constituents. And the bill will mean people find it simpler to create their LPA, while also, importantly, being protected from abuse, given the powers that are offered, and that will be protected through regulations that are enabled by the bill. So the public will also be better protected from fraud, and the OPG will be able to run a more streamlined process that delivers better value for its fee payers. But I think it is noteworthy that the fee involved currently is a relatively modest £82, which, given the level of responsibility involved in this, I think is worth considering. And overall, it will allow more individuals to retain control of their lives by planning for the future. And in 2001, the MOJ ran a consultation which set out the case for change, given the increase there have been in a number of LPAs since their introduction. For example, in 2014, just over 390,000 LPAs were sent to the OPG for registration, and by 2019 this had more than doubled to just under 920,000. People increasingly expect to be able to access government services online. And it's striking that in 2019 the OPG received 19 million sheets of paper in the form of hard copy LPAs and posted out an equally similar amount. That is not a sustainable or sensible practice to continue. And LPAs are particularly useful for people with dementia, and statistics from Alzheimer's Society show there are around 900,000 people living with dementia in the UK, which is projected to rise to 1.6 million people by 2040. And figures from Norfolk County Council show that in 2019 there are around 11,000 people registered at practices in Norfolk and Waveney with dementia diagnosed. By 2030, that figure is expected to double. Indeed, in Kings Lynn and West Norfolk, dementia prevalence is expected to increase by nearly 24% between 2019 and 2030. So this bill will help ensure the process for registering LPAs keeps pace with that expected increase in dementia, whilst we also importantly, put medical funding into research to help treat that condition. So to conclude, I welcome the digitisation of the process. It brings many benefits to improve access and speed of service. However, we must ensure there are robust and well thought through safeguards, because poor decision making by an attorney could mean the loss of someone's assets, all of their assets. It could mean them being put into a care home or other serious consequences. So that balance between ease of use and protection has to be properly struck. And I'm pleased to support the bill today, helping to deliver much needed improvements to this process.
Thank you, Mr Deputy Speaker. It's a privilege to follow my